everyone, it's Katy here at Bradwood Farm with Homegrown Passion. And today we're installing the Vego garden frost cover system on my 9-in-1 raised bed so we keep growing beets and carrots into the colder months in Ohio. As you can see, I just finished harvesting the potatoes and onions from this bed, and now I've planted beets and carrots. But with fall moving into early winter, we need to protect them. That's where this system comes in. The product we're using is a Vego Garden Frost Greenhouse Cover System, built with reinforced mesh, UV protected fabric cover, a sturdy frame designed to maximize season extension and plant protection. From Vego's website, made with reinforced mesh, layered inside UV protected fabric, shrugs off sun, frost, wind, and everything else. So step one is to unpack the frame pieces. They're all powder coated steel frame, and they have stainless hardware, which is really nice. And the frame is mounted right onto the 9-in-1 raised bed. This way, according to Vego, the cover systems are designed to fit their modular raised bed configurations. Like every other Vego product I've used, their instructions are so easy to read and make assembly so simple. So the first thing I did is went through and loosened up all the bolts on the top of the 9-in-1 raised bed. So per the instructions, the first thing I need to do is take off the little bolts that came with the original 9-in-1 system, and then I'm going to use the longer ones to install the posts, which look like they're really easy to install. Let me get one of my pieces here. They have a little end cap that goes on the end of them, and it can only go one way because there's a little notch in the post and the plastic piece. There it is. And you snap it into place. Bring the two plastic ends up. You put down the bolt and you stick it in the inside and you put the screw right through it. Well, I have all the posts installed and tightened up, so now I need to put the cross fittings on, and it has the Vego on there, so you know which way they need to go. And they just slip right onto the post. Now the end post, it gets a T. Two more to install, and back here I have my electric fence, and I turned it off because I keep touching it as I walk around the bed. That would be bad. Now that I have assembled the frame, I like to assemble the leg post on the frame on the raised bed, so then I could just add the top frame rafters by sliding them in place, which makes life easier, especially if you're working solo. Once the frame is set, I bolt it down securely to the bed sides, making sure everything is square and level. It gives a solid structure to support the cover and also handle any frost or wind loads. The little curved pieces go first, and they slide right into the ends. This thing's going to be really strong and sturdy. Whoops. Now I'm going to go around and put the side pipes in. Make sure I get them in all the way into the 4 ways. And you can tell this is going to be a sturdy structure. Oh yeah, okay. Now I have to do the front side, and then I'm ready to put the arches on. Okay. Wow, that feels really good. The bows have a plastic piece that holds them together. It has a little notch on the top of it that you need to make sure that's up. Now go ahead and insert this into the 4-way. A really nice feature that Vego incorporated in their build is there's a notch on each one of the posts, every single one, to show you how far it needs to go in to make sure you have it in completely and it's nice and secure. Next, the cover. This isn't a flimsy plastic sheet. Vego's description: durable, easy on cover system, shields plants from harsh weather, and targets cold season growing. The mesh allows sunlight in, while the layer fabric gives frost protection and helps moderate temperatures inside. So the instructions say to unzip the cover and then lay it over the frame. You go ahead and get that. But you can tell this is a quality product. These zippers are really nice. They unzip so even and so smoothly. Okay. Got this guy opened up. This is a lot bigger than it looks. Let's lift it over the frame. Go down here. This cover fits the frame perfectly, and it has Velcro tabs that attach to this post, and you just put them around the post. And I have the same type of system up on my deck with my gazebo, and no windstorm can undo it. And then down below, you tie it to the bottom of the post to keep it secure. Get it in here. And you zipper it back down. And what's really nice is that the flaps go over the top of the raised bed, so water's not going to get in there and flood it out. Another nice feature this cover has is on each end, on each side, it has a buckle with the Velcro, and you can pull it tight, and that'll keep the wind from coming up underneath and getting to your plants. So you know, in the wintertime, when you get the bright sunshine and it's 20 degrees out, everything heats up from the solar energy. Well, this guy's going to also, and it has this nice little vent flap on each end. It's all Velcro down, so when it's cold out, you can keep it closed up. But it's even got a mesh screen on it to keep any bugs or birds or anything else out of there. I draped the cover over the frame. I secured the Velcro, I secured the ties, and I zipped up the door and the access panel. I made sure the bottom was anchored so it keeps the winds from coming up straight up from under the sides. And this gives me a mini protected micro greenhouse over my raised bed. My bed is planted with beets and carrots, and we're already gaining some serious advantage. Why? Because this system will help us protect the soil and roots from hard frost, trap daytime warmth so our cool season crops keep growing into November and December in Ohio, block harsh winds, reduce stress on the plants, and ultimately extend our harvest window. Growing in Ohio means fall nights drop fast. Without protection, beets and carrots might grow slow or bolt early. With this kind of cover system, we're creating a buffer zone so our plants can keep working, our soil stays active, and we can push well past the typical season. Now this is going to be my routine. Each evening I have to close the cover, check the bed during the sunny daytime hours because we may need to vent it, which I had to do today. And if it's partially unzipped, I'll have to zip it back up. It becomes a living system, not just a one-time install. That dynamic control is what really makes a big difference. And one more thing I'm going to need to check is the soil, because when it rains, the water's not going to come through this cover. So I'll have to make sure it stays nice and moist and water it when needed. So if you're looking to extend your growing system into late fall and early winter, especially in regions like central Ohio, this cover system from Vego Garden is a smart upgrade. We'll continue to share our results with the beets and carrots under this setup and show you how it performs as the temperatures drop. So I'm going to put a link for this cover down in the description, and there's also going to be a discount code. So thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this setup install video, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for alerts, and leave a comment below if you're using a similar system or have any questions. In a few weeks, I'll share how everything is growing under the cover. Until then, get outside, stay passionate, and keep growing. And I'm Katy with Homegrown Passion, and we'll see you guys next video.